My theme this month is healing. And my topic today is healing is more cooperation than creation. Healing is more cooperation than creation. You know, when you cooperate with something, it's just that, cooperate. You're working along with something as opposed to you being the one who's initiating. You're being the one who's creating it. And a lot of times we get paralyzed around this thing called healing because we feel like we don't know what to do. We're a very to-do kind of society. And we try to orchestrate our surrender. we want to plan it out. What do I have to do to get over myself? Even I've been guilty of that. But what we're hoping to establish here this month is that healing is something that naturally happens. All you have to do is get out of the way. If there's something for you to do, it's that. Not make it happen. Stop putting up roadblocks. Stop going against it. I remember as a kid, I used to be fascinated with like a scab on my hand. And my mother would always say, like, don't pick at it. Just let it be. Just let the scab be. And this is what happens for us sometimes, is that healing isn't always pretty. Sometimes it gets a little, a little icky in there. Sometimes it gets a little hard and crusty or whatnot, and we think it's not healing. But that's all a part of the process. I want you to catch it. That's all a part of the process. Sometimes in order to heal, you get weaker before you get stronger. That's all a part of the process. Sometimes in healing, it means exercising and using something that at the time feels a little too hurt to use. And you don't want to do that. It hurts to move my arm. It hurt. Well, yeah, but if you don't, you're going to lose that muscle. So you're going to have to breathe and work through the hurt. There are all these processes that go on that we don't have to create. We just have to cooperate with it. Your body is very smart. Your body is incredibly smart. Every fiber and cell of your body, in essence, thinks and responds and coordinates and cooperates. Nothing is independent in the universe. Nothing in your body operates independently. Everything is working in concert with everything else. And so it is with you in your life. Your healing process is, yes, it's internal in that sense of being private, but there is nothing isolated about your healing. There's nothing isolated. You are part of the great vibration of life itself. And the healing work that you do is a contribution to collective consciousness. The healing work that you do is a contribution to collective consciousness. We are influenced not only by our own personal experience, but by the whole energetic field around us. We are influenced by that. And we have a chance to shift and to change that. We're not just walking around helpless people subjected to things. At any moment in time when you say you've had enough. 2 weeks ago, I remember saying that what I was about to say wasn't so much about politics as it was about consciousness and the laws of the universe and how they work. And I remember saying, I don't know a lot about Egyptian politics, but I do know that if 1 million people are out there in the square and you've been in office for decades, something about to change. Truth crushed to earth will rise and rise again. So it doesn't matter even how long you've been oppressed or how long you've oppressed your own self. There will come a point in time when the pendulum is going to have to swing the other way. There comes a point in time. A lot of the terrible weather, climatic stuff that we're seeing all over the world is Mother Earth trying to heal herself. Is Mother Earth trying desperately to come back into some kind of a balance? Because she will not continuously suffer abuse without something within coming back and saying, oh no, I don't know about you human beings, but I'm getting healed. I don't know about y'all. But I'm not just going to sit around and take this. Do you feel that the planet itself even has its own internal healing properties? We don't have to tell the earth to do it. You don't have to tell the universe to do it. It's built in. This is such extraordinary news because we get into a fix-it mentality with our Western mind. Like things are somehow or another permanently broken. Nothing's ever permanently broken. There is always the underlying perfect pattern. I want you to catch that. There's always the underlying perfect pattern. So it doesn't matter what's going on in your body temple. It doesn't matter how much disease or how much injury encoded within your spiritual DNA for your body temple is a perfect pattern that is not disturbed. It's not disturbed. But because every fiber is thinking and every fiber is responding. This is extraordinary when we think about it. Your tissues are responding to your mind chatter. Your tissues are responding to your mind chatter. Our immune system goes up and down with our emotions. Our immune system's going up and down with our feelings and the stories that we're telling ourselves. And we can bring ourselves up to higher vibrations as easily as we can take ourselves down to lower ones. It's not the external, okay? When you get the report, the doctor's report, the credit report, or whatever that is, that if you look at it, you have an opportunity to do one of two things. You can give in it the statistical interpretation, which is just an extrapolation of everybody else's past experience. Or you can take a look at this and go, miracle about to happen up in here. Everybody who's ever been healed wanted to be healed. Everybody who's ever been healed wanted to be healed. Believed in the healing more than the disease. Believed in the possibility more than the disease. And I want to make a distinction here between healing and cured. See, cured is the external stuff. We're not always going to get cured of the external stuff. Everybody's going to leave here sooner or later. Illness, injury. If the body tempo moving into states of disarray was somehow or another a sign of a lack of spiritual consciousness, then everybody would have flunked, including Jesus. Bodies do what bodies do. Bio things do what bio things do. That's just what they do. But there's a healing. There's a healing that takes place. And you know what happens? When you reach that place of the internal healing, it doesn't even matter to you anymore if things get cured. When you reach that place of the internal healing, you're not even worried anymore what your kids are doing, what your mama didn't do. You're not even worried anymore because you know that all things will work themselves out in their own divine timing and you don't have to do anything about it. That moment of healing is a I've been to the mountaintop place. That moment of healing is where you know in your heart of hearts, it's okay. It's okay and I'm okay. That I am not worse off or less off because of what anybody else has done. Healing takes your cooperation. I went to my spirit definitions this morning, and I looked up to see what it had to say about healing. Can't wait to get these published because they're mwah. And at this part of the definitions, almost all of them have what I would call the components. What happens with these spiritual definitions is that every spiritual quality is described as a place and a space in consciousness. It's a convergence of energy fields. It's not a noun. Like healing is not just a noun. It's just not a thing that happens. Faith is not just a thing. Prosperity is not just a thing. It's an activity. Peace is an activity. Peace is an action. Faith is an action. Healing is an activity. And it explains that there's always two things. There's something that already exists that we're usually not really connected to or we're not really giving our full consent to. And then there's something that we have to do to bring to the table. There's something we bring to the table, and then it explains the verb. What is that connection? What is that place of activity that's bringing together what's already here and what it is that we as human beings of ourselves have to bring? So I had the two components this morning. And it said that our component was our innate perfection. That was our component. Innate, inherent. As spiritual beings, we are perfect, whole, and complete. Your spirituality doesn't need to be healed, it needs to be revealed. Your spirituality doesn't need to be healed, it needs to be revealed. Our innate perfection. And what is this thing that it's meeting? It says, my energetic quickening. I said, whoa, innate perfection, energetic quickening. What's connecting those? And I prayed on it, and I sat there. And the first thing that I thought, I looked up, but I knew I wasn't on it. When I know I've really heard, there's something that sinks way down. Maybe dating myself here, but there's something Valerie Hayes always says. She says, the pearl hit the bottom of the Prel bottle. For those of you who are old enough to remember, there was this commercial to show how thick Prel shampoo was, and they drop a pearl in it, and you just watch the thing go down. I know some of y'all had to look up tiddlywinks the other day when I was... Lex actually bought me some. So yeah, that something happens. It sinks down there. And my first thought was that this inner, innate perfection of ours resonates.